How many people recognize this ride in business? Show of hands. Yeah, right? Ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs of business. How many people, when you're on the way down, go, "we"? No, this isn't Wonderland. There's nothing fun about that. But this is one of the key drivers that separates success and struggle. Question, when you're at the top, and we've all been there, right? Especially people in this room. You're at the top, things are going well, lots of clients, lots of referrals, lots of business, top of the world, right? How do you feel when you're up there?
Great.
Awesome, feeling amazing, right? When you're down at the bottom, out of clients, out of prospects, mortgage payment coming up, things are happening. When you're down here, how do you feel?
Miserable.
Not very well. To coin a phrase, miserable. All right, so let's look at this realistically and say, all right, if I'm at the top, on top of the world, confidence is through the roof, and I make 20 new business development calls, and I speak to 20 new people. In your experience, you're on top of the world. How many of those 20, bless you, how many of those 20 people will you book a first meeting with? How many? 2. 2? Out of 20? We got to talk. All right, stick around for the next section. Okay. How many would you book? 6? That's generally what I hear, anywhere from 6 to 8 to 10. Sometimes people say 0. It's like, no, if you say that, you got to clean pools, and that's no fun. All right, so in the range of 6, 8, 10, 12. So when you're at the bottom, out of clients, out of confidence, right, out of money, you make 20 calls, how many people will you book a first meeting with? 0. 2, 3, 0? Again, right? I've cleaned pools. When you take that dead squirrel out of the skimmer, that's a motivator. It really is a motivator, right? So what we end up seeing here then is when we get down to the bottom here, the business development activity multiple required to produce the same results is 2, 4, 6 times as much of an effort, right? And if we looked at this and said this ride on the roller coaster represents a month, and I'm going to be generous and say 3 weeks of the month you're on top, only 1 week of the month you're on the bottom. People say that's good, right? Pretty good, 3 and 1. Say no, that's a small error in judgment. That's not 1 week I was at the bottom this month. That's 1 week every month. That's 12 weeks of the year. That's 1/4 of my year I'm not producing. And we start to see the separation of church and state, of what ends up happening. Jim Collins, who wrote the book Good to Great. How many people have read that book, Good to Great? Make the note, you should read that book. Great book. He's an amazing author because it's all research-based. And his new book is called Great by Choice. And in this book, they research the people who are the perennial winners in a number of industries across the spectrum. The people that year after year after year beat everyone in the market. And it's interesting, Jim Collins, he gives everyone a name that he studies. In Good to Great, he called the top CEOs the level 5 leaders. In Great by Choice, the perennial winners, he called them the productive paranoids. Not a great name, okay, but indicative of their philosophy and why they got there and stayed there. Here's why. Regardless of how well things were going, here's what the productive paranoids did. They didn't care. They were consistently focused and or paranoid on tomorrow, next week, next month, next quarter. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? And as a result of that, they never allowed themselves to go back down to the bottom. So again, it's not some Herculean effort that creates success. It's the implementation of the right disciplines. Right? Do you know what creates business for you? Of course. Right? It's only really 3 things we need to do every day, right? Find clients, meet with clients, service clients. Didn't miss anything. So if those are not making up the majority of our activity during a day, right, and we let that slide out, and so many times people get faked out and say, well, I'm too busy. I have too many meetings, too much paperwork, too many clients. Well, take one less meeting, because if you don't allow for business development to be a consistent part of your practice, you're going to go back down to the bottom, and I promise you, you won't hear that noise, we.